Hey everyone, welcome to or back to my channel, and I'm using IBS Paint for today's video. IBS Paint recently updated their drawing software. To think they started off as a little seedling, and now they're a potted plant. I've noticed that the pen pressure of my stylus only really works well with IBS Paint, so that's why I'm using it for today's video. I recently saw this Pinterest decides what I draw art trend on TikTok, and wanted to give it a try, and decided to do a full-length YouTube video instead of just a traditional TikTok. My main goal is to focus on the basic things such as getting the pose, the facial expression, hair, eye color, accessories, and clothes. And maybe later on I'll go into detail with hair color and eye color and so forth. I'll just draw the first thing that comes up. So, starting off strong with the pose. Oh, moving on to the facial expression, hair, and eye color. Okay, I'm feeling good about this. Now for accessories. Oh wow. Why do these glasses give Bayonetta? Anyway, we're gonna take the necklace too. And last but not least, clothing. First one's okay, but I like the second one more. I don't know, we'll see what happens. Okay, and now that we've collected our references, it's time to get to the drawing. I usually try focusing on the anatomy by using basic shapes. It makes it easier to focus on finer details later, so that you don't really get distracted and pay more attention to getting the idea of the overall pose onto the canvas. The focus is to get the idea out as fast as possible. I don't know why, but most of us artists always struggle with drawing hands, and in this case, I managed to draw the one, but as far as getting to the other one, as you can see, I just left that one, hanging. In the end, those hands weren't even seen in the final drawing, so I guess, I spent some time doing all that, but I wanted to get the complete pose in the video so that I actually completed the challenge, and didn't cheat my way through it. I'll be honest, I felt bad that I've only ever been uploading shorts for you guys, so I wanted to focus more on making full-length YouTube content. I usually don't talk this much. Moving on to my second reference, this is where I start drawing the face. I don't know why, but it felt like the facial expression wasn't all that expressive for me, but I really love the hair that Pinterest gave me, so I guess it makes up for the face. I'll just leave you to enjoy the drawing process. I'm so glad IBS Paint has a liquify tool, because without it, I'd be lost. I wanted to mimic the reference for the hair, but still ended up drawing it like how I usually would. I still think it turned out pretty good though. I spent way too much time on this belt for it not to be in the video. So, like, at the very least, put it in the video, because even if it wasn't in the art, the overall drawing, at the very least, I needed to put it in the video. So, I'm happy with what I did there. Admit, I really do like the outfit, but I just feel like everything is just too baggy for this specific drawing. I ended up going with the second outfit instead, as you can see here. It just looks better and it makes the overall drawing look more balanced and proportional. I spent way too much time on this. I don't know, just don't come at me in the comments, okay? I was hoping Pinterest would give me a male character though, but maybe next time. I'd like to make more of these, so don't forget to like and subscribe. Here I'm just cleaning up the sketch a little bit because at this point I thought I was done, but nope. I tried not to spend too much time on the sketch, but I ended up sketching for like an entire day. You know, some of us are really slow when it comes to drawing because we're very detail orientated, and I don't know about everybody else, but I really enjoy when my sketch is completely detailed before I even think about doing line art. For those of you who know, I am very forgetful as an artist. That's just one of my flaws, okay? Don't judge me. But I sometimes forget to include certain aspects, certain things into my art. And after I've already saved my art and posted it online, I look back at it and it feels like an incomplete drawing, you know? It just feels like there's something missing every single time I go back and look at my art. So that's why I prefer to do detail sketches, because I get to see everything that I want and I just know that I won't be forgetting anything. And that's what Pinterest decides what I draw. Honestly, it's giving Y2K vibes. I don't know. Okay, and at this part, I'm just laying down the flats and making sure that everything is finished, and most likely the art, because this video is dragging out a little bit too long. But yeah, I was like struggling with my storage for a while, so I had like a bunch of like full-length YouTube videos prepared, but unfortunately my storage kind of backfired on me. So as long as you guys are patient, I'll be more than happy to upload more, but I apologize in advance. I'm going to teach you guys a really easy method of coloring, basically using IBS Paint and the lasso tool. Like, you can do this multiple different ways, but as you can see right here, I'm not using the method that I would normally use for the hair. So I'm just coloring the hair like how us beginner artists would usually color the hair, But a great way of coloring the hair or coloring in any part of your drawing is to basically separate all your layers of your drawing and all the layers of your coloring, right? Put them all on separate layers, and then you use the lasso tool, and then you basically select every single area that you want to color in at once for that specific area, and you just go to town, Or you could just use the paint bucket tool. But I kind of like this method of coloring because it's just so satisfying, There are other ways to color in faster, like the lasso fill tool. That's a really great way too. I've seen a lot of people use that. But comment your favorite coloring method at the bottom in the comments, okay? But I really like the eye color that I got for this specific drawing. I think this is a really great way to create interesting character design and great looking concept art, especially if you have art block. Yeah, but I think I'll be doing more of these just because they're really fun and I'm actually enjoying myself, because this is really enjoyable. When it comes to rendering, I wouldn't exactly say I'm the best at it, but we're all trying to learn and we're all just doing our best, as long as we enjoy ourselves and have fun. I think that's the most important lesson here, besides like having everything look pleasing to the eye. I just feel like as long as you enjoy what you're doing, then it doesn't really matter what other people say about your art. Because I feel like some of us artists always get caught up in like what other people think of our art, and as long as you're trying and improving and find the experience like relaxing, then I don't really think we should care about other people's opinions, you know? We're just doing what we love. And I always consider drawing to be very therapeutic. For some, it can be a little bit stressful because, well, it's their career, but us little artists, I really feel like we should take the time and enjoy the process rather than being to our art out there, because everybody's opinions are different. At this point, I don't really know what to say from here on, you know, so I'll just speed up the coloring process so that we can, like, you know, finish up this video. This is the end of the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more. Bye!